So, you've asked us how to run a LAN party. This is how we figured it out. For a small little LAN party, router will work. For anything above about 4 people, you want to buy a switch. We got this on eBay for $30 used. MSY for $57. Now, with your cables, just get a range. 0.5 meter and 10 meters.
Just go shopping and buy 24 cables.
MSY is where we buy them, very cheap. Good way to share the games. Buy a router, supports a hard drive. You can then just plug it in and tell everyone. Some good games are Minecraft, Halo, TF2, Strike, Quake, Half-Life 1, things like that.
Oh man, apparently Dota works too.
Whatever you can find, which everyone has.
The best way to organise LAN parties is you usually do it with 2 people. He does all the technical stuff, and then my job is get a venue, any space that fits. The 8 people, like we usually have them in a bedroom, you can do them in a kitchen, and that's all fine, it's nice and cozy. But if you're going to do it like a space that's above 12 people, or 12 people or above, or maybe even 10, for that you're going to need a venue. A good place to look for venues is scout halls. Also, another thing about venues is the more people you have, then the less cost there is overall.
Now something I will add is with a venue it feels more professional, because when you're in someone's house it feels like more of a casual thing, but when you're actually at a venue it feels like more of a professional thing.
Whatever you do, don't allow anyone to say maybe. Because we had like 3 people say, I might come the night before, and it's just not allowed. 16 people and a big scout hall is generally the best way to go.
As many people as you can basically gather. Then it means lower cost for everyone, and it also means you can buy more gear. This was out of our money, this almost came out of our money. All these cables were out of our own money, so it is going to cost you, but what you do want to make sure is the fact that more people means more money, which means cheaper prices.
Now, with people, it's often best to have about 12 and charge them all about $25. That then pays for the hall and pays for all the large amounts of money you've spent on cabling and routers. Very fancy router too. So set it up kind of high, so just in case there's people who can't pay, then there's enough money to cover those people too.
The thing which you want to make sure is, because you've spent all that money on cabling beforehand, charging more is better because you get your money back.
Always good to feed a bunch of teenagers with large amounts of pizza.
So with your power, one actual port from the wall should manage up to about 10 people. For 10 to 20 people, you want 4 ports. 30 to 40 people, you want 8 ports. Everyone has a point. There are spare points, so I want to set it up so that you can easily access it. Now you want to make sure each player has enough room for their keyboard and their mouse. And I recommend about 70 to 1 meter. As long as the seat has a back, a bottom, 4 legs, and is fairly comfy, use it. Tables, basically get whatever you want, as long as the player has enough room for their keyboard, their mouse, their chair, and their computer.
And long enough cables to run to those spots.
You're good. Set up the tables and the chairs the day before. We get there in the morning at about 6. We set up routers, switches, cables, power boards, all of that. Also get everyone to arrive an hour, half an hour before. Everyone is there, they've set up, and they've troubleshooted themselves, so that when time starts to actually start gaming, you can start gaming.
Right, the way I remember it is this is plugged into this, which is plugged into these.
Plug the plug into the port that the plug fits.
And game.